Have you ever wondered how you'd actually build a business from scratch in today's world? Well, we got our hands on the actual blueprint for a pretty revolutionary new restaurant, and we're going to break the whole thing down. Let's dive in.
So this is the big question, the puzzle that the entire business plan is designed to solve. And it sounds kind of impossible, right? A restaurant with basically no staff and no recurring software costs, but that is exactly the core innovation behind this concept called Everyday Steve. Okay, so let's start with the big idea. You have to think of Everyday Steve as not just another place to get brunch. No, it's designed from the ground up to be a solution, a kind of daily ritual for busy, health-conscious people who value their time just as much as they value good food.
Here it is in a nutshell. It's a brunch-only spot that's all about healthy food. But here's the key, and this is a big one. You can only order through their mobile app. There's no counter, no cash register, no waiting in line. It's all about speed, convenience, a total grab-and-go model built for how we live now.
And their mission statement, it really tells you everything you need to know. Just look at those keywords: accessible, convenient, and tech-driven. This isn't just about selling food. It's about using technology to remove all the headaches, all the friction from getting a healthy meal.
So if the concept is the what, then the operations are the how. And honestly, this is where the real genius of the plan starts to shine through. It's a business that has been engineered from day one for just maximum radical efficiency.
Okay, first up, and this is a big one, the number of full-time employees in year one? 0. Zilch. It's designed to be run entirely by the founder and his son. Think about that. That just completely wipes out payroll, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, expense for any restaurant. That just drastically lowers the financial risk right from the jump.
All right, next up, $0. As in $0 in monthly software fees. Most restaurants are paying a fortune for their point-of-sale systems, their delivery app integrations. It's a huge cost. But by building and owning their own app, Everyday Steve just cuts out the middleman entirely. They keep 100% of the revenue, and they get total control over their customer data. It's a massive advantage.
And to top it all off, they made their supply chain just incredibly simple. The plan calls for sourcing pretty much everything from a single supplier, Costco. What does that mean? No complicated contracts with distributors, lower food costs, and way less waste. It also means they operate on a cash basis, no supplier debt. That's huge for a new business.
So you can have the most brilliant idea in the world, right? But it's pretty much worthless if you're not in the right market. The next part of this blueprint is all about finding that perfect gap. The right idea in the right place for the right people.
So they picked a spot, a really high-traffic corridor in Wilmington, North Carolina. And this location isn't random, it's super strategic. It's surrounded by office parks and, here's the key, a major medical center. This puts them right in the daily path of their ideal customer, that busy, health-conscious professional like a doctor or a nurse who needs a quick, good-for-you meal.
So how do they actually stand out? Well, they're basically upgrading the entire brunch experience. Think about the old way, right? You've got long wait times, maybe the healthy options aren't great, you got to order in person. Now compare that to their digital model. Pre-order on an app for instant pickup. Wholesome, hot meals. It's a completely different world.
And the plan gets really specific, actually breaking down the competition. It shows that, yeah, other healthy places exist, but they're all doing something different. Clean Eats is all about prepackaged meal prep. Clean Juice, smoothies. Everyday Steve finds this perfect little niche. Hot, fresh, full brunch meals that you can get faster than anywhere else because of their app.
All right, let's talk money. This is where the rubber really meets the road. And this isn't just some boring spreadsheet. It's the story of how this super lean, efficient machine is designed to become profitable and fast.
So the whole thing gets started for just under $100,000. But here's the kicker. Look at that funding mix. The owner is only putting in $3,000 of their own cash. The rest is leveraged from a small business loan. This is just a classic example of using smart financing to get a business off the ground with very little personal capital at risk.
And this is the payoff for all that lean planning. The net income projections are, well, they're frankly incredible, starting at over $110,000 in the very first year. That's a direct result of that lean model we talked about. No payroll, no monthly software fees. It just means that profits pile up way faster than in a traditional restaurant. But if there's one number that tells the whole story, it's this one, 45. That's it. That's the number of orders they need to sell each day to break even. Anything after order number 45 is pure profit. It just makes the daily goals so clear and tangible, and it proves how low risk this financial model really is.
But, a plan this smart doesn't just stop with one successful shop, right? The final piece of this whole puzzle is about the future, how you take this one concept and grow it into a scalable brand, something with a real legacy.
So, they've got this really clear 3-year growth plan laid out. Year 1, it's all about launching, getting the brand out there and collecting customer data to make things even better. Year 2, they expand to a second location and finally start hiring. And then, by year 3, the vision gets even bigger. They'll start expanding to more locations and, get this, they plan to start licensing their app to other restaurants. That's a whole new business right there.
And of course, any good business plan thinks about the end game. They've got a few different paths they could take to realize the value they're building. They could keep expanding across the state, they could double down on that software idea and turn it into its own company, or they could position the whole thing to be bought by a larger food or tech company.
So when you deconstruct this entire blueprint, you're left with this really big question. What the Everyday Steve model does is it strips the restaurant down to its absolute bare essentials, making great food and getting it to people as efficiently as possible. It's a kitchen, an app, and that's it. So you have to wonder, is this the future of food? A restaurant with no tables?